Hi guys, so today I'm going to be sharing some amazing classics that I found at a supermarket because it wasn't really a bookstore. But I'm excited to share these classics with you that I plan to read sometime soon. So let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rachel here. As always, hit that subscribe button so you never miss a thing. Like this video so that it is referred to other viewers as well. If this is your first time, you are welcome. And if you're an OG and you've been here for a while, you are welcome as well. So let's quickly get into what this video is about. So I went to a supermarket one time and I stumbled on some of these classics that I'm going to share with you. I'm really excited to get into them in the months of January and February. So just going to be sharing with you. I'm sure some of you that are watching this video have already read them before. So if you watch one of my previous videos where I was sharing my reading goals for 2025, I said one of the things that I'd really love to do this year is to read more Nigerian classic literature. And even while I was like nurturing that desire, right, I went to a supermarket one time and I stumbled on these ones. I actually would have gotten more, but I was like, it was a little bit expensive. And I'm like, okay, let's just calm down on the nurturing of the desire. And so I'm excited to share them with you today that I plan to read. If you've read any of them, let me know in the comments. We have here The Bride Price by Buchi Emecheta. I'm excited to read that. Then we have The Concubine by Elechi Amadi. And we also have Head Above Water by Buchi Emecheta. Buchi Emecheta is an amazing Nigerian writer. A lot of people know, like, when it comes to classic literature, like, she's really, really great. And Elechi Amadi as well. I haven't actually read any of these ones before, but I hear that Buchi Emecheta's autobiography is very, very interesting. Correct me if I'm wrong. Apparently, I heard that she wrote one manuscript one time when she was in England, and then her husband burnt it or something like that. A lot of crazy stuff. So I'm excited to actually read it and just know what her story is generally. Okay, so let's start with The Concubine. How many of you guys have read The Concubine? It's by Elechi Amadi. So this just reminds me of a video that I did, I think was it last year in 2023, 25 classics, Nigerian classic literature. I really, really love that video. I was so excited doing it until now. I'm so excited anytime I come across it. And I think some of these ones were actually mentioned. If you've not watched that video, you should go and check it out. All right, so The Concubine by Elechi Amadi. So let me just read out the synopsis so that you guys know what it's about. And I think I'll do that for all the books as well. Ifoma, a beautiful young widow of exemplary character, has the admiration of the entire community in which she lives, and especially of the hunter Ekweme. Obedient to the expectations of the traditional society they belong to, they forswear their love so that Ekweme can marry the girl to whom he has been betrothed since birth. But their passion is fated, and jealousy, a love potion, and the closeness of the spirit world lift this simple tale onto a tragic plane. Interesting. Okay, this is the first time I'm reading the synopsis. We'll see how it goes. It's a very interesting one. Like I said, let me know if you have read it. The next one is Head Above Water, an autobiography by Buchi Emecheta. So the synopsis says, this is a quote from her actually. As for my survival for the past 20 years in England, from when I was a little over 20, dragging four cold and dripping babies with me, I'm pregnant with a fifth one. Wow, that is a miracle. And if for any reason you do not believe in miracles, please start believing, because my keeping my head above water in this indifferent society is a miracle. Wow. You see, now I actually want to read this because wow. Okay, so transition from a tribal childhood in the African bush to life in North London as an internationally admired author. In Head Above Water, she gives a sharply observed account of her struggle to establish herself as a writer. Every page of this autobiography reveals her extraordinary talent, determination, and wry humor. Why do I feel like it was a foreigner that wrote this thing? Because what do you mean by from a tribal childhood in the African bush? You see what I'm talking about? And I think this was written like quite a while ago. What does that even mean in the African bush? Excuse you. Excuse you. I'm trying to look for when this book was actually written, but I don't seem to find it here. So Anyway, I'll let you guys know how it is when I actually read this book. The third one I have here is The Bride Price, a novel by Buchi Emecheta. So let's read the synopsis and see what it's about. The Bride Price is the poignant love story of Akuna, a young Igbo girl, and Chike, the son of a prosperous former slave. They are drawn together despite the obstacles standing between them and their happiness, defying even the traditions of tribal life. Akuna flees an unwanted marriage to join Chike, only to have her uncle refuse the required bride price from Chike's family. This leads to Akuna's haunting fear that she will die in childbirth, the fate, according to tribal law, awaiting every young girl whose bride price is not paid. Okay, so yeah, so let's see how that goes as well. That seems interesting. Hmm. It's actually a very different vibe reading these classics. If there's anyone that you feel like I should try as well, let me know. So I'm really excited to get into classics because I think for me, it just sort of, the times were different then. And I think just seeing the way writers express themselves at that point. I mean, look at this autobiography of Buchi Emecheta, where she's literally sharing her struggles of, from moving from Africa to London to become an established writer, and then see all she has to go through just to become an established writer. So I'm excited to see what their thought process was like, especially those who wrote in the 50s, 60s. For those of you who have read books like you read books from Wole Soyinka and a couple of others, um, then that the way they wrote then was quite different from how they write now. And so I'm interested in to see what these ones actually look like. I think that it's very important that, as readers, we actually read more classics, especially Nigerian or African readers. If you're a Nigerian reader or an African reader watching this, I think that it's very important for us to go back, and read classic literature, not only for entertainment or just to see the way the writers were able to express themselves, but also to kind of get a sense of our roots and, see how beautifully these writers express themselves. There's so much, what you call it, negative history out there about Africa being a dark continent, people being illiterate, people being like basically just painting Africa in a weird way. And to see how many beautiful things actually came out of Africa in the early 20th century is really, really commendable. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why, as readers and literature enthusiasts, we should actually go and read more classic literature just to see, how it was and to have an appreciation of what those writers in those times actually did. And it sort of encourages the narrative and pushes the narrative of Africa as a developed continent, or Africa as a continent that was really, great even before colonialism came. So I feel like that's why it's very important that we read classic literature. And I think for me, not just for the entertainment, but also just getting to understand, like I said, more of the expressions of these writers. So let me know, like I said, if you've read any of them, which of the three should I start with? Please, I'll be waiting to hear in the comments. Should I start with Head Above Water, an autobiography by Buchi Emecheta, or should I start with The Concubine by Elechi Amadi, or should I start with The Bride Price by Buchi Emecheta? Let me know. I'll be looking out in the comments to see what you guys suggest. But thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.